called this game. Charles Davis and Jason McCourty, who join us from Nashville, where the Titans get the win in their final preseason game. Cameron Ward, the #1 pick, played in all 3 preseason games. He failed to throw a touchdown. His completion percentage, less than 53%. Charles, what's your takeaway from his preseason performance?
I thought it was good throughout, and I realize that numbers aren't going to blow people away, but it's playing the position of quarterback and maturing quickly that's impressed me the most, because playing that position, as Jason knows very well, isn't necessarily, did you throw a lot of touchdown passes, did you do all of this? He's going to have those days. Yeah. But he finished the entire preseason not turning the ball over, which is very unusual for a rookie quarterback. He's got a great sense to understand when to take a sack, get out of bounds, throw the ball away. All those things are happening for him at a nice level. Now, when it gets to Denver, it's going to quicken. But I really think that overall, it's a nice start for him.
I would agree, and you talked about not having a turnover, but I think with that, he also attempted to drive the ball down the field. He made some big plays with his arm. So I think you're going to continue to see the maturation of Cam Ward. But if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, you're extremely happy about what you've seen and what you've heard from Cam Ward as a quarterback and as a leader.
Charles, you spent some time. You got to sit down with Cameron Ward to talk some ball with him. What would you say defines a successful season in his rookie year?
I'd say him continuing to ascend as a quarterback and play the position with football intelligence. And he already does that, but there will be more thrown at him. Watching how he goes through the season, Jason mentioned, hey, he's not afraid to push it downfield, but also watching how he rides that line of, do I push it downfield? Do I check it down? Do I take that shot downfield, or do I live to fight for another down? All of those things. And how does he comport himself if Tennessee goes through a stretch where they lose 3, 4, 5 games in a row, in case that happens? How is the team going to look at him? Because they will look at him to know, what's our barometer? How should we be acting in the locker room? It's a lot to pile on the shoulders of a rookie quarterback, but that's what you get when you're the #1 overall pick. And I do think, Jason, that he will handle himself quite well.
I do too. And the first test with Vance Joseph in that defense, it's an aggressive one. He's going to be blitzed. Yeah. He's going to have to do a lot of things post-snap, and with that defense moving all around. So success for him is, like you said, you got to be able to recognize those and not ride the wave of an NFL season, of the ups and the downs, of just continue to show the guys, not only in that locker room, but also the brass around this Tennessee Titans organization, that you got the right guy for the job, and I'm going to continue to grow as the roster around me does.
Jason, you started your career in Tennessee with the Titans. Cameron Ward described the offense as very mid during training camp, which is what the kids say, 6'7". That's a shout out to my kids. How would you describe the Tennessee offense right now? Exactly. How would you describe the Tennessee offense right now heading into the regular season?
I think it's one that's growing. I think there are still some question marks, but where they were a year ago, where there were an offensive line that couldn't protect the quarterback, one that struggled at different moments, they've revamped that. They've gone out and they've brought guys in that are experienced, that are veterans. Now for Cam Ward, it's about finding out who those weapons are going to be on the outside. Calvin really obviously is going to be his go-to target. We've seen that early in the preseason. Now, Van Jefferson had a big game tonight with a nice long pass, but who are the other guys? Io Maynard, can he step up? Can DK, can he step up? Can they make plays to make things easier on Cam Ward, CD?
And can they move people in the running game to give Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears an opportunity? Gunnar Helm, the 4th-round pick out of Texas, a tight end is often a quarterback's best friend, especially a young quarterback. That'll help in a big way. But I'll be honest with you, Akeem, I think that he nailed it. It has been very mid, because remember, this new offensive line that they're counting on hasn't played together yet. They haven't had full time. Lloyd Cushenberry missed the entire preseason because of the Achilles last year. Kevin Zeitler, as a veteran with 198 starts, didn't play at all in the preseason. J.C. Latham didn't play tonight. So they still have to knit it together. And Jason said, don't forget, they're going to go see Vance Joseph in Denver. Now, the good thing, Denard Wilson throws a lot at them in practice here as their own defensive coordinator. But, boy, the speed's going to be on warp speed when they get into that altitude in Denver. Let's see how that comes together, because I think he's right. They are very mid right now. But to be frank, I wouldn't expect them to be anything but that right now. They have a lot of room to grow.
As you mentioned, Titans open the regular season on the road against Denver. Charles Davis and Jason McCourty open the season in Indianapolis, calling Dolphins Colts on CBS. Men, good to spend a couple minutes with you here on CBS Sports HQ. Looking forward to seeing you throughout the season. Appreciate their time here on CBS.
Team downfield overcome some penalties and things.
It is real good, especially for us to, get the going. Especially when we start backed up. It's really about having a good first play, getting the drive going, ending off with a Julius touchdown run. So we had a good little drive there.
Cam, what are you seeing out there from camp to first preseason game to now? And how are you improving in your pocket operation and working the pocket, and then also operating those plays on the field?
Well, I think my biggest improvement so far was just the tempo, getting in and out of huddle, and then off of that, just playing. Just at every day, I think I played at a faster pace than what I played at the day before, and that's through practice. Coach Callahan getting me right, Coach Bo getting me right, and then really just trying to put the ball in my playmakers' hands like I did tonight, and let those guys go make plays.
Little maybe how this team can be week one and what maybe needs to happen here over the next couple of weeks for you guys to be ready.
I think the biggest thing is try to keep guys healthy going into week one, and then also making sure guys have confidence in what they're doing, whether it's defensive, offensively, scheme-wise. And then I'm real confident in our group. Both sides of the ball, we can score the ball, I think, at a high pace if we need to. And defensively, I know we can get a stop whenever we need to. So both sides of the ball, I think we'll be ready to play week one.
Where's your back of the home atmosphere?
It was real good, especially for a preseason game. I wish everybody would stayed the whole time, but I don't blame them. I wouldn't have stayed the whole time. So, I'm ready to get back here, after hopefully we get a win week one, get here for our home opener week two. So, hopefully we sold out.
With footwork being something that you're so focused on, how is that coming along for you, bringing it from the drills and practice to now, when you're facing those blitzes like you were today?
I just think I'm more on time, hitting my back foot whether I need to hitch or double hitch, and then getting the ball out. And this came a long way since high school to this point, constantly working on my footwork throughout college, and then Coach Bo getting me right here. And the biggest thing was the footwork on certain plays. And then, because you never know how, if you have to move in the pocket, you never know, how good the D-tackle, the defensive end is. So, you got to be a reaction player as a quarterback. And I think the biggest thing that I got better on just being on timing with certain routes.
Nice to get some connections with Van tonight, particularly after the close call last week.
Oh, yeah. I think Van had himself a day. He does that really every day in practice. It's all about putting the ball in his hands and letting him make a play. That's something that, I want to do every chance I get the opportunity to. I did tonight. BA did tonight. And I think, I'm excited for Van. I'm glad that I have him on my team. He's a team player. So I'm ready to throw him the football some more.
I know that you were trying to get certain things out of preseason games, but how important was it for you in these three games to kind of show that this wasn't too big for you, that you've got this, you're going to be able to lead this team into the season?
That was never important for me, to show something to somebody. I'm trying to prove myself to my teammates every time I step on the field. That's a big reason why I do it for the people in the building. And so I just think we're focused on, the next play mentality, and then we're also focused on week one. But I know what I'm capable of doing on the football field. Coach Callahan knows that. So I'm excited. He's going to put the ball in my hand. I'm glad he's doing it.
Your coach was just saying that through the preseason he's kind of had a governor on you so that you're not out there running around taking big hits. How much do you think you still have to show that maybe you didn't show in the preseason?
I just think I really got to show that gunslinger. And it's with, playing a full game. And then it's also just, Coach Callahan having the trust in me like he does. So I'm gonna put a lot on tape on this year. My teammates gonna put a lot of tape on this year. And so, we excited every week we get opportunity.
How big is it to build the confidence with receivers outside of Calvin Ridley? You've been throwing to pretty much second and third team guys the last two games. So how important is that for you?
It's real important. We get reps after practice all the time, because especially you never know when your number going to get called. So you got to at least have timing with, all the receivers. I think the whole group, we have that. I think we're a dynamic group. Each one of our guys run routes differently, and I think that's, an attribute of ours. And so even the second, third string guys, they come along, they make plays for me, along with the other quarterbacks. So, they're going to be, throughout the season, if we have a guy who ends up getting injured, those going to be the guys that we end up counting on.
Much about this being the last time you'll be playing with some guys tonight, and did you say anything to anybody or the team after the game tonight?
Not really. I just don't think like that. I just think God has a plan for everybody. And so whether they end up, being on this journey with us throughout the whole year or not, I know God gonna make sure He has His hand on them.
You mentioned that you're only focused on proving yourself to your teammates, not really the outside. What do you hope you've shown your team, your teammates about who you are at this point?
I just hope I show them that I'm about them. I'm about those guys in the locker room. And that I'm really to do anything it takes to win. We were a 3-14 team last year, so we got nothing to lose, everything to prove to ourselves. So I'm ready for opportunity every week. The NFL, it's a place that you want to play in. It's the 1% of the world, and so everybody in that locker room when it comes to week when we play Denver, we're gonna try to go out there and go get a win.
I think your leadership has had an effect on this team so far during the preseason.
I just think it has its effect on knowing that we're able to win every game. And that's just how I think as a quarterback. I think every time I step on the field, I can be a difference maker. And so they surround me with a lot of talent, especially up front. Those 5 guys up there who are always the standpoint, of our offense, the O-line. And then just